All right, we are going to start with 10.2 using chords part 2. I'm going to add my ruler in here. See if I can get my, there it goes. So we're continuing with what we learned yesterday in chords and diameter. I'm just making my page here. So yesterday we did our theorems, and today we're going to start solving those. So we're going to do using the diameter. So using the diameter to solve all right. And this is actually example 2 in your book. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle. All right, and then we're going to label it. So yesterday we talked about diameter going straight across. I'm going to try to see if that'll go away. It's not going to go away, but I'm going to draw. So we're going to draw the diameter going straight across, and we're going to label the center of the diameter, which is going to be, I take that back. Yeah, this is going to be M. And then just above that, we're going to put another line. It's at a 90-degree angle. And this is going to give me H and K. And then my diameter, I'm going to label J and L. And then where the 2 cross is going to be my N. And outside on my arc, we're going to write 70 plus X. And then put a little degree sign. And then you're going to put 11X and a degree sign. All right, I'm going to try to see if I can get this. There it goes. So we have 2 things we have to find. We have to find A. We're going to start with A. Find HK. All right, and I want to take, and there's a couple things I left off. I forgot to put our right angle in there. So we got a right angle here, and then we have a number 7 right there. So yesterday we talked about the diameter and the chord, and if it hit at a 90-degree angle, that the angles were, or I'm sorry, not angles, we're doing circles. We learned that we had this side is equal to this side, okay? So in order to find that, we know that we have to do H to N length plus N to K length. And if both sides are equal, we know N to K is 7. We also know, because they're equal, that H to N is 7, which gives us 14. You could also do it another way. You could say your whole length, HK, because that's the full length, and it's going to be 2 times that because it's split in half. So that would be 2 times 7, which is 14. So either way is acceptable, okay? Just know that you're adding the 2 parts of it together because it is split by the diameter. That gives you the 2 halves, and they're equal to each other. All right, so if I went back into yesterday's notes, that would be right here where it says if the diameter of a circle is perpendicular, the chord and the diameter bisect the chord and its arc. So it's bisecting it. So that's what we learned yesterday. All right, so we're just using that today in solving the math problems. All right, so that's A. So that's not too hard. Now we're going to talk about the arcs. All right, so part B. I'm going to change back to blue. I've got part B. I've got my two parts of my arc. So we know that when we talked about yesterday, and I'm just going to flip back to yesterday, my chords, here we knew that this arc equaled that arc. They're exactly the same. Okay, they were exact same. So when we go to do this, you literally will know that this side would equal this side. They're the exact same number. So the problem we have right here is that we have an x. And what we want to find, so we're going to find measure of the arc, HK. Remember, it's not a straight line over, it's an arc. So when I'm talking about that, we said that they are equal. We know when two things are the exact same number, we're going to set them equal to each other. So we're going to have 11x is equal to 70 plus x in the degree. So one of the things and questions that comes up, well, there's a degree and it's in a parentheses. How do I fix that? Can I separate that parentheses? In this case, you can. You can say 70 degrees plus x degrees. All right, put the degree on both and put my 11x degree here. Now you're going to go through and solve this just like we solve an algebraic problem. I want to get the x's on the same side. So I've already got the x over here, so I'm going to take this x on this side and move it to the other side. So the opposite of a plus is a minus x. So it's a minus 1x degree. Ooh. All right. So what happens then is I now have 10x degrees equals 70. And the last step to get the 10 away from my x is to divide. So this is going to be divide by 10, divide by 10. So my x is equal to 7. So that gives us what the x is. Now I need to find what h to j is. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to find this part right here, h to j. All right. So I want to find my h to j arc piece. I'm going to plug in my 7. So I have equals 11x degrees. I'm just going to plug in 11 times 7, which is going to give me hj, my arc hj, which is going to give me 77. Now I also know that I want j to k, so we're going to just check this just to make sure it's right. We're going to solve j to k, the arc of j to k, all right, which is 70 plus x. Well, we know we're plugging in the 7, so we're making sure that we're taking this 7 and we're plugging it in, okay? So I've got 70 plus x, whoops, sorry about that, I gotta take that x out, 70 plus 7, which gives you 77. So my arc JK is 77. Now the last thing that I want to know is I want to know h all the way to k. So what I have to do is I have to know that I have my 77 here plus my 77 here is going to give me hk. So I've got hj, my arc, plus my jk arc. When I add 77 plus 77, it's going to give me my hk, my arc hk. So when I add 77 plus 77, I get 154 degrees. So what you will notice on this is that you will have several components to it that they may ask you for. Okay, so you have to be prepared to say, what are they asking me? So our original here, we were saying that we were finding h to k. Okay, the first step we did was we found x. So we found our x first, but then you have to go back in and get your 2/2 of your arc, or you could take and do one of the arcs and times it times 2. It would still get you to this same thing. But what we did was we checked to make sure that both arcs ended up being the same. All right, so I'm actually going to put your try it on this side, and you're going to do a try it for example 2. So your try it for example 2, we're going to draw a shape. And then we're going to label some things in there. There it goes. So the center of my circle again is going to be M. And I'm going to draw my diameter. And then I'm going to draw my chord going across. So I've got H and K again, and I've got J and L again, and I've got an N here, and then I'm going to put this in a different color. Let's do our right angle, and I think I'm going to do it in purple. So we've got a 14 here, and then we have this arc H to J is 2x minus 8 degrees, and then you have 127 minus x degrees. And remember, those two equal each other, so do it exactly like we did B. So you're going to have an A and a B. So your A is going to be find, whoops, didn't write, find HK. So that's your A. And then your B is going to be find the measure of HK for the arc. All right, so you're going to do H, find HK, so it's just like this. So you're going to use, give you a hint, you're going to use 14 in there. And then you're going to do B exactly like this, and you're going to set them equal to each other. So that's your hint for that one. Alright, so you're going to have some homework on this. And then we're going to go on to the next example. So I'll give you a couple minutes to start doing that. And you can stop the video and solve those.